All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, good time zone to you all, and welcome to episode 2 of our Dungeons & Dragons Guardians of the Gateway campaign. We're going to be joining up with our players in just a moment here, but just want to welcome you guys all. This is going to be a few-hour session. We'll see how long it actually goes. Usually goes quite a few hours longer than that, but we'll see. We had to move our schedule around a bit, so thanks for bearing with us. But yes, at this point in time, roll call is in the Discord for anybody who wants to join in on the event last minute, who has a character currently active and rostered and available. We're not going to take much longer at all to wait. As a matter of fact, it's, well, get here. All right. Good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna bring up our players here in just a moment. All right. Let's see. Go over to here. Go over to here. Good evening, players.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening.
Who here would like to recap for us what happened last episode?
All right.
You have the floor.
All right. So we all wound up getting a letter, and that led us to a swamp in the middle of nowhere where a portal made of roiling lightning appeared. Traveling through this portal, we found ourselves going through time and space. Well, at least space. And came upon a world that looked like a giant glacier just kind of chilling out there. And it's kind of beyond our mortal common sense. Falling down, we saw a bunch of cities, some volcanoes, and a bunch of us blacked out on the outskirts of a fishing village where everybody was dressed in togas. They thought we were the Guardians, and their leader, Dio, escorted us through up to the city of Olympus, showing us all sorts of fantastical different technologies, and brought us to Pluto the Paymaster, who got us to sign some contracts with, looked like Zeus. He sent us to another world where through a portal that was kind of unstable, and asking us to set up a bunch of increase their influence out into these other worlds. So the motley crew wound up going through, explored a bit, found all sorts of neat things, and then set up camp for the night, only to be onset by a horde of undead. They were able to barely make it out alive, and then they set about trying to establish a foothold in Olympus.
And what happened when you guys escaped?
I know a few of them came through, and we were able to stop them with the help of the snake people.
Didn't also one of the serpent people, go and notify the council?
Yes.
Indeed.
All right. This was Jugajuice, right?
Correct.
Jugajuice, thank you for doing the recap. I award you 5 gold.
Oh, much appreciated.
All right. As well as plus 1 inspiration if you have or don't have that in your pool. So there you go.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you for the recap. All right. So everybody, that is what happened. Those of you guys who made it back through the portal, you brought an unexpected guest with you. Indeed. Something of the living dead, or out of a necromantic nightmare. With the assistance of the Slith, you were able to bring low this decrepit threat. But immediately, it seemed to cause great concern. The normally stoic and otherwise silent and diligent Slith the serpentine-bodied archmages that you have come to understand populate at least some part of Olympus, had some great concern and went to notify the council. And it was then that none other than Dresden, the man who helped debrief you on your situation, Drayden Sagelight, he emerges quickly down in the darkness of the room where you guys had just come through. Now, the undead lay at your feet. If you guys would like to give a quick recap, not a recap, but how would you guys have explained the situation? Drayden comes down, storming through, and you can see that he's wearing possibly what could be night robes. These dark, velvety, light, billowy toga-like robes with a silver sash, and he's got rings under his eyes. And again, remember, this man looks like Lemony Snicket's from A Series of Unfortunate Events starring Jim Carrey. He's got his spiked, almost feather-like hair, his long, crooked nose, and his black beetle-like eyes. And he scrutinizes the undead as they lay at your feet, the black, brackish blood pooling from the bodies. What is this? He says with a look of disgust.
Creature, there are hundreds of them. An entire mob. It may have been an ambush.
He looks incredulous at you, shaking his head. An ambush? Go on.
Yes, we were exploring for several hours and attempting to make our way to a river we saw, when suddenly we made camp as it got dark, and a huge mob of undead descended upon the area as if it knew we were there. They surrounded us, but we managed to spot them and hide.
Impossible, he says, with a flip of a hand, and looks with his arms crossing over his chest. Which one of you did this? Which one of you brought your foul taint of magic to this otherwise spotless world?
He speaks the truth.
He looks over in your direction. Explain.
None of us here are necromancers or anything of that sort.
Are you
Creatures.
implying that this thing was just out wandering on its own?
It was not on its own. There was a horde of them there.
He gasps, and Pearl clutches at a large prismatic brooch that's connecting a satin sash to his silky robes. This is impossible. You lie! This is heresy, he says with a sudden sharpness to his voice. You imply that the dead walk. This is impossible.
Had we not seen it for ourselves, we would have been the same.
And look at the evidence we have in front of you.
And just like that, it seems like the attention is pulled to the pile of corpses lying before the still swirling portal. And again, he looks like he's calculating before he speaks next. What you are implying here could only be done by one being. And it is assuming that a very negligent act has occurred. You mean to say that not just one, but hundreds of wayward, not just souls, but bodies have been up and walking about. This could be none other than the doing of Hades. And are you implying that his lordship of below is meddling in this plane of existence?
This plane is new. Are you sure there's no other? that you don't know of that could do this?
We've already mentioned the gods from here do not have an influence down there.
Yes.
Could it not be something else?
I know in the world that I
No gods that we know of. He says.
If you
as
need
he
more
str-
proof, I will happily take you through and show you myself.
I'm not dressed or prepared to adventure tonight, company of heroes that you are. There's a reason why we're paying you to do this. We must be absolutely certain. Before we bring this to Zeus, we must be certain.
We do have an amulet in our possession. Would you like to see it?
He looks very surprised. An amulet, you say? He swishes his way over to you.
It was
His fingers drumming together with great interest.
It was found on a body that had been maimed by these beasts.
Show me.
Hands him the amulet.
Okay. Where did you acquire this? He says, flipping it over in his hands.
On a body that me and Dr. Akula preserved and buried. His back was removed.
Did you guys do anything with this amulet?
We just took it to bring back.
Okay. He takes it.
Somebody actually.
What?
Somebody cast Identify on the amulet, if I remember right.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
tried to.
Tried to, but failed.
Yeah.
He's
Magic fizzled.
he is looking at it in his hand, and you see this like a vein bulge just thump on his forehead, and a bead of sweat trickles down from his temple. He turns it over in his hand and opens the locket, and inside there's a picture of a beautiful young woman with jet hair that tumbles down her shoulders. And in the other side, there appears to be a child, an infant, wearing like a daughter, perhaps, with curls in her hair and a golden necklace. Well, you can't really tell. It's a necklace of some sort. It's a black and white picture. But it's a picture, and it's a faded picture. And it seems to be crumbling in your hands a bit. Or in his hands. It's as he opens it, there's dust that just kind of like falls out of it. And he's staring down with a little bit of disbelief. You must go back, he says. All of you.
Go back in with the horde? He's crazy.
We'll need some time to prepare.
Yes, so what happens next is you are given the next several days to rest and recuperate and have your wounds tended to. But the presence of this scholar is always there asking for you guys to make haste with your preparations to return. So everything that you guys did in your passive play, all of the research that you did in the Discord, which, one moment, I'm going to just really quickly bring this up. All right, so Jugga Juice. The grapple tree bark that you found didn't really yield too many different properties from terrestrial woods that you've been familiar with. But you did find that the bark, when having fire applied to it, made the fire burn a emerald green color. Let's see. The party collectively discovers that the glow shrooms have a almost tasteless flavor to them, but seem to make you drowsy. On top of this, the glowing spores do glow whether in or out of the mushroom for a period of several hours and can be used for possible crude light sources. Let me see. As for the fire willow, you find that you are able to extract very light, flammable, nectar-like liquids from them, although in very small amounts, and they evaporate pretty quickly. The fire willow itself seems to indeed help with the local ecosystem by ashing itself, burning itself slightly, and adding its ash deposits to the forest floor. And as for the apple grapes, the giant apple-sized grapes, you guys find that they actually have the ability to nourish you quite well and hydrate you quite well, and they restore 1 hit point when you eat one of them. Now they are pretty big. You know, it's like a big apple-sized kind of delicate grape, so they don't really transport very well. But if you happen to have them, they can heal. They are also very rejuvenating and delicious. And you also find that there's literally no ill effects from eating them. The grape apples are such a tremendous appreciated discovery that the Merchant Guild has decided to award everybody on the rostered game who has had a character in session so far. Everybody will be receiving an extra stipend of 10 gold for a very, very appreciated discovery. These grapes are already being used to be made into wines and being used in feasts. You're also noticing as you go around throughout the week when there's feasts going on throughout Olympus that some of them are having the stuffed and crackling piglets with a grapple in their mouth instead of a straight-up apple. And it's also used for making some really, really thick, viscous jams and preserves. Alright, so all that stuff's a little bit mundane, though, as you get through your week. And eventually, it's time for you guys to come back. And those of you who... Let's see, all of you should be able to have permissions to use your miniatures right now. Can you guys move them already? Alright. If you're here and you're present, please bring them over before the portal. Alright. What am I looking for right now? So as you guys are escorted back down into the Infinitorium, down in the deep, dark recesses below the mountain that is Olympus, you arrive in the decorated room of portals, Pandora's prison, and the box sat elegantly, its golden hinges open, and the long-dead portals listing and rippling in and out of reality, save for the one blazing portal that has foggy green mist and vestiges and images of rolling plains and beautiful green trees. A very peaceful, albeit perhaps haunting, vision with what you all experienced last time. One moment here. We'll say that... Yeah, we'll say this. So Drayden is waiting for you all as you arrive in the room of portals. He's got a scroll in his hand, and he's apparently speaking with the large cobra man to his right. They're speaking in a rather elaborate tongue, literally hissing at eeach other. It's rather comical, perhaps, for those who might be witnessing it for the first time. Drayden is full flick of a non-forked tongue as he seems to converse with this otherworldly being. Two portals open as well within this room. And from the back, beside the portal, two other Slith appear, with staves in their hands, and they begin to, without a word, or even so much as a glance towards you all, begin to channel, without any incantations at all. Now, for the tone of this campaign, we do take the whole somatic components and verbal components and everything very seriously. So, much like in the world not so different of Harry Potter, somebody using wordless or meta magic for silent or deviceless casting is very uncommon and very difficult. These two are displaying a proficiency with magic that is very bizarre. Instantaneous stabilization of the portal. The fire begins to quell. The burning and rippling of the portal turns more into a glassy-like image, wreathed in glowing embers. Sort of like the hot bars of a forge. And you're gazing into the rippling peacefulness of this forest on the other side. "Approach, Guardians," Drayden says, and he holds up a silver thunderbolt of Zeus. The lightning lanes call to you all. I'm sorry that Zeus could not see you off here personally. He is attending one of Dionysus' grand fortnight orgies. He would love to be here, but he's got bigger fish to fry, and whatever else goes on over there. As is such, your mission is the same. Zeus has not been informed yet of your discovery. You are to verify your discovery, as a matter of fact. Go forth, find proof of what you've just showed me again. Find out what happened there. We must find out if there's treachery afoot. If this is not the work of Hades, we must find out. We do not know who it could be other than him.
Cyril will step forward and take the silver bolt.
He hands it to you. Be very careful with that. It's not a toy.
Certainly not.
Especially after it saved us from the last time.
Indeed. They are in short supply. According to Zeus, it takes great effort for him to exert himself to make one of these possible. For right now, our Slith friends will be assisting in translocating you in. Approach the portal, Guardians. The Slith there begin to make a clicking sound, their jaws hanging open slightly as they do so. The portal begins to stabilize even further and begins to almost take on a depth perception. You see it begin to stretch forward and no longer become a flat image but a long hallway. And then the feeling of electricity begins to fill the air. The hairs rising on the back of your necks. The goose pimples prickling over your flesh as the static charge begins to fill the chamber. Very similar to when Zeus himself opened the lightning lanes and cast you all into the void of the galaxies. But it's the Slith, both of them converging, it would seem. Lightning begins to arc between the two of them, as very similar energies, albeit perhaps a bit weaker. The two slits with the swords and shield raise their bucklers into the air and then their scimitars in turn, and the lightning channels from them as well as they all begin to perform some sort of chorus. And then, straight ahead of you, bolts of lightning lance out in a bridge, quite similar to the way that Zeus opened the portal before. Good luck, Guardians, and make haste.
No time like the
Thank you,
present.
Meow.
Let's go.
Thank you, thank you. Could I have that
Once
drink?
more in.
Thank you.
I give a quick nod of appreciation and step through.
Minor problem.
Ooh,
here
looks
is
delicious.
My character is not on the board.
Which character is this?
This is Rek, the elf maid or elf ranger.
Wreck. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Do you got permission on it? Let's see. GM tools. Player permission. Yeah, you got it. Alright, so what are you guys doing as you step through the portal?
Immediately taking a seat and taking about 10 minutes to ritually cast or attempt to cast Detect Magic. In particular, hoping to use it to try and start seeing if there's any trails of necromantic magic or things aberrant from the normal blinding background.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic. Roll a d20. You again feel this certain oppression when you try and cast your spell. It's very difficult for you to cast it. It requires great strain and concentration on your part. You find though that when your spell activates, you are nearly blinded as the entire forest, every rock, every leaf, every piece of drifting pollen, every root, every insect begins to glow with various different auras of blinding light, all of them virtually radiating some sort of magic.
Is the forest still blinding?
If you're using Detect Magic, and actively
No.
channeling it?
That was talk to our mage.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's still pretty bad, but trying to focus, see if our crawly friends left a trace.
Tangents, Jug of Juice. My game crashed and now I'm stuck on a bar screen after having to
Sure.
relog in.
There we go. Summoning.
Thank you.
No problem. That default arena is going to be one that I'm going to let you guys use for PvP, like in the meantime, if you guys want to use it. But we'll be having some formalized stuff for that coming up. But we'll be having some boards that you guys can jump between.
Okay, that's cool.
All right.
Zero is going to look around and see if he can find any footprints or trail, because a large mob like that would probably leave a large, wide trail to follow.
Okay.
Then why not start at the campsite?
Well, they followed us all the way through the portal.
Now, as all of you guys step through the portal again, you are greeted with beautiful sunshine, beautiful temperatures, the singing of birds and the chirping of insects, and a feeling of dread. Not necessarily interpreted as dread, but like a pit of the feeling of like the pit of your stomach, just like a lead ball just sitting in it. Some anxious feeling.
I can see the tree where we created the big tree earlier on the last visit.
Yeah, that's where we were. But yeah, as far as portal, we used the lanes out of the area we fled from, so there should be no trail from here to there.
Indeed. And as you guys say that, the crackling lightning portal behind you rips itself out of reality and retracts back. The last lancing bolts of lightning, leaving a charred mark in the ground where the lightning lanes once were. Leaving you guys now with the silver lightning bolt in hand and
So
on your own.
I suggest we head towards the tree and just keep an eye out.
And indeed, almost comically, with the casting that happened earlier, you're not quite sure what had happened, but a loss of control of a spell occurred, and one of the trees grew to comically enormous proportions. And you see it quite easily on your way in. Alright, so as you guys are walking here, let's hold up for a moment. Let's have everybody roll perception, because you guys are looking around for things that have happened, right?
Indeed.
Yep. And I want to take a look at the grate we made as well, see if that was disturbed.
Indeed, we will be getting there in a moment.
And with me more so looking with detect magic eyes, would that still be perception, or would that be a different role, since I'm more so paying attention to the magical aspects?
Okay, like, again, all of the... You're basically just getting auras everywhere. So it's... Everything's kind of, like, blending together a little bit.
Okay, so they're basically just all the same kind of
It would be
magic.
strange... Okay, so, like, it would be stranger at this point to come across something that's not magic. Alright, so... With your perception rolls, let's see. If you rolled a 15 or higher, can you please make your character do the surprised wiggle emote? Okay. One moment, thank you. Oh, then I gotta do it this way. You discover a skeleton. Let me go put this over here. Laying out in the open. There's mud covering its bones. Still pieces of meat clinging to it. Looks fairly fresh, as a matter of fact. And down over here, a skeleton as well. But not just a skeleton. This one's got meat all over the bones. This looks like one of the zombies, or something similar to one of the things that you guys faced on that night of the Horde.
Do you think that they're actually attacking each other?
That'd be advantageous for us.
Aye. Who can say?
Unless it's just a survival mechanism.
The undead aren't normally known for their intelligence unless they're really old or really magic, so...
I'd like to investigate that first body.
Okay.
See if there's anything on it.
And I'd like to investigate the one behind us for the same.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Okay. As you approach the body, is it this one over here you guys are talking about?
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
You move over to investigate it. And that's when you notice, underneath, what appears to be feet sticking out from that bush. Investigating the area further, you see that there is at least 4 bodies, all of them in various different states of decay, strewn about this area. On investigating the body itself, though, when coming over to it, you find that it has a crack in its skull, and there appears to have been some sort of liquid seeping out of it.
Anyone have a vial?
Aye, let me get that. I think we can both.
All right, so you guys get your vials over to the skull, and it's kind of more like seeping. It's not really. It's pretty hard to collect. You might have to open the skull yourself if you want to go that far.
Absolutely.
He wants proof.
Yeah, we'll go for it.
I'll help with this with my medical expertise.
Okay, what do you do? A clean extraction?
Yeah.
And
Just...
I'm. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead. So I was gonna do a see where it's seeping out, and then since it's already dead, just kind of do a nice skull graft.
Okay. Roll medical.
May I assist, as I'm also proficient in medicine?
Yes, you may. Taking care to be respectful of the body, I'm guessing?
Yes.
I have no such respect. Alabaster, we might need your hammers for these bodies.
There we go. Much better. Thank you for the assist.
Carefully, you take your serrated blades and saw the skull plate open and remove it. And inside, there is a brain with stages of rot, but poking out from the top of the skull, or from the brain rather, is a blue crystal deposit.
Oh, that's not normal.
Indeed. Definitely getting a closer look at that. Detect magic would still technically be up. Is that crystal also... does it look like a different type of aura than everything else?
It pulses with a dark, abyss black aura.
I'll call that out to my compatriots.
We should probably try to extract it. Do some experiments later.
I would be careful.
Let's see if this next body has the same thing.
Okay, so are you... How are you guys extracting the crystal?
I have an idea, but if anyone else had already thought of something, feel free. My idea involves magic, so it might fail.
I know we could probably dismantle the head, but I don't want to reckon the dead.
How attached is it? I'm curious.
It's looking like like a thorn or a cone thorn is like sticking out. So like it could just be on the surface. Perhaps there's some under. It looks like it's sticking out though.
I'll leave this to the medical expert.
So I have a pouch, some sharp implements to remove it, but if we had a jar, that would be much better.
I've just got a vial, not a jar.
I do have a bucket, if we need to use it.
Hey, bucket can work. So who's performing the procedure?
I assume the same two people.
Okay.
Yep.
The specialists go about their ways. Give us a medical check.
All right. We want to do individual or advantage for somebody again?
We can do advantage.
Okay. Do you want to roll this one since I rolled the last one?
Sure.
Okay. It's rather difficult with the tools that you have. Or do you have a medical kit?
Unfortunately, I just have the herbalism kit, which has the the scissors and clippers. And
Okay, so it's clearly not quite meant to be used on meat and bone and sinew and what have you. But you find yourself able to trim through the brain matter, and it does reveal that there is a larger growth to this crystal that continues a bit deeper into the brain. It is a... Well, actually, I guess there is a prop that I could use. 1 second. Definitely too big. But we would say something like... It's not sticking out like that, but like picture a small bud of that, if you will, sticking out of the skull, just for picture representation.
Okay. And is it safe to, if we look at the other ones, it's safe to assume that they also have them?
I don't know.
All right, I think we must crack a few more open.
Do you guys take some time to go about opening the heads of the undead that you find?
If some of you want to go ahead back to the camp and check around there while we do this, because we might be able to split our efforts a little better.
I think we should take one head whole to prove that they came from the skull itself.
Not a bad idea.
I will stay with the medics and watch over them.
Okay.
Right, be safe.
As you guys are wandering around and looking around, you guys basically find... Now, we only have skeleton props here. But you begin to basically find that there are bodies everywhere.
Yeah, I can see 2 in front of me.
And do these bodies resemble?
They all appear to be in various stages of decay. There are skeletons among them. Some of them are completely disfigured, like torsos. But it does look like the host of undead that you guys encountered before. And even as you guys get closer to your campsite, you can find evidence of them among your camp.
They're everywhere.
Around the campsite, you find any rations that were left behind rummaged through. There's even a pair of rotten legs sticking out of someone's sleeping bag.
I thought we had grabbed everything before we jumped in the lightning lane, or were we only able to get a couple of them?
Were you guys able to grab everything?
Because I know me and one other person
I think we mostly
grabbed
got
everything. I grabbed a bunch of the stuff at least.
I think we all grabbed it.
Alright, belay that one description then. These things are not here apparently. Alright. Let me just... Okay. So, did you do another medical check for me? For the other ones that you're working on?
Yet.
Okay.
We can do that now.
Yeah, give me a couple of them. Okay. Not quite your finest work compared to your previous endeavors, but you spend the next hour going from body to body, opening their skulls. They make a very distinct crack, especially since you don't quite have the tools that you need to get through them. But in each and every one of them, you do manage to find these crystalline-type deposits. In one of them, though, it looks almost like a jewel. It's the same color, but it doesn't look like the thorny, stalagmite-like natural formation of the other ones. There's one that stands out that is rather polished and carved.
Which body was that on?
Let's see. That one would be... this one over here.
Is there anything special about this body?
1 second. Hey chat, just letting you guys know, I'm sorry I'm not being very interactive or answering questions. I'm just kind of like, we got a lot of players on our board. We'll be having some information coming up for you guys about what we do here. This is Tailspire that we're running our engine through. I just got to focus on everybody who's in my session right now. So just kind of letting you guys know if I'm in focus mode, that's exactly what I'm kind of doing right now. But this is our community campaign, and it will be a heavy uptime game later on down the road. All right. This particular body. Roll perception. You recognize this as the woman with the locket amulet that you had buried yesterday. You identify her by the missing chunk of ribs out of her back side.
So she's been dug up, or she's got out of her grave because she's undead?
Do we notice which direction the dirt was moved from her grave?
Do you remember where you actually buried her?
Let's see. It's kind of...
We've got a map somewhere, haven't we?
Yeah.
It was right here, actually.
Did you guys draw a map of your surroundings?
One
yes,
person did, yeah.
Awesome.
Bartholomew attempted to, but
Cool.
I drew a map appropriate to the roll that was made, which was terrible.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
We set up camp, if I recall right, by the tree, and that was right where.
This is why it's important, because you guys said that you guys got rid of the camping site stuff. So we got to make sure you guys know your landmarks.
Yep, which luckily someone made a giant tree for us.
Absolutely.
Thank goodness for berries.
And the giant tree is on the map, however bad it is.
Reefer, thank you for the 3 years, my friend. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I got to focus
just
on everybody
south of
here,
the-
but I want you to
the
know that
big tree.
I really appreciate you. Thank you for sponsoring my content for so long, my dude.
How do I do the spotlight?
L. Maybe the GM can only do that, though.
Okay, I'll move my character to where I thought it was.
Okay.
No, yeah, if I recall right, we harvested berries, the shrooms right here. I'm gonna move my figure real quick.
Yep.
No,
We harvested shrooms right here, and that's
Yep.
when we noticed the body.
Yep, the body was just a little bit south of where you were momentarily there. Hunter.
Okay. You guys are roughly correct. You guys find the camp, the spot, and you absolutely see the hole in the ground. Let's just say, for intents and purposes, we'll. Oh, I guess it doesn't really quite look like a hole. Anywho, let me undo that, I guess. You find the resting place where you all took great time and labor to properly bury this woman and put her to rest. You find the grave. It is dug, or it is open. It has been clawed open, and she is no longer in it.
Okay, so she crawled out of it. Got it.
How did we not see all these bodies?
I don't think they were here before.
They had to come from somewhere then.
Well, are they the undead? Do they only walk for a night and then die, or what?
Was the information about that different gem that was found shared with everyone?
Yeah. Might as well.
Yeah.
So you relay the information about the gem that you find in the skull.
I'd definitely like to take a look at that, pondering it over, peering over it, trying to ascertain magical properties.
But yeah, and this gem was from the gal that we took the amulet from, right?
Yeah, and she seemed pretty important.
Yeah,
Oh, so you were asking about her. So you identified this body. She does still have tatters of her clothes, which appear to be like a robe of some sort, dark in color, with a lot of tears on them. Again, like her back was entirely flayed open and missing the ribs from the back of the skeleton.
Careful
Sorry, go ahead.
not to damage the body too much, because we may need something from this lass in order to show the paladin.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have time to bury them all today, but we will come back for them.
I have a bit of a different idea. I think maybe we should burn them.
That could work.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, zombies don't like being burned, I think.
Fire does seem to work in this realm.
I mean, we could just use the fire willow, no?
We could, yes, but why
got-
waste it? We have
we-
spells, and they do
we-
seem to work. At least
But we've got to be
sometimes.
careful. We've got to be careful we don't set fire to the forest.
Yeah, that would be bad. Yeah.
Well, we did cast a very large fire spell to the northwest. We could see how much damage it did before trying it.
Did it take your guys' screens?
Yeah.
Is it still doing it? Because I was just experimenting with something. I didn't mean to take everybody's thing.
Back to exploration.
Go
Yeah.
back to
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, good. Sorry about that.
So
Oh, wait a minute. So just I didn't even really think of that. I was trying to go between all of you guys to like do a conversation, but it's actually just fine right now. I guess if we do something like this. So like me. How do I actually get rid of these ones now?
Nice photo bomb.
I know, right? So do you guys seeing that one right now? You guys see the group basically?
Yes.
Yep, see them, yep.
Are you seeing my camera move when I do this or no?
No.
No.
Cool.
No, it's
All right.
frozen.
All right. So we'll be making more use of this mode. So like, for example, if we're looking at the body, we'll do something like that.
hey Bartholomew, you said you wanted to check this lady out? Poor soul.
The gem in particular.
I will hand it to him.
Okay. You hand the gem off to them. And indeed, it's covered in a well, did you clean it off entirely?
A rough
Okay, so it's still got smears of some dark black brackish blood from it and rotten brain fluid. But in your palm you possess a glinting gem that looks like it was carved with some level of skill. It certainly does not look like one of the natural, more growthy looking crystal deposits from the other skulls.
Any etchings into it or other signs that this might have been used as a focus or a control?
Roth Bannon, thank you for the 11 months, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Sorry, Bargy, can you please repeat that?
I was wanting to basically turn it over and examine, see if there might be any etchings in the stone, any irregularities that might suggest it was being used as a magic foci of some kind.
Roll Knowledge Arcana. Okay. You're not really sure, but you have an idea. You suspect that this possibly could be a power source or a controller or something. It's just not... You don't think it's possible that it was a natural occurrence compared to, say, the spinier-looking ones. This one looks like it was possibly even placed there. It certainly seems like it was manipulated by man. And does, as I said before, radiate with magic.
Sharing this information with everyone and pointing to the unfortunate body.
No,
this one was much more important.
I have
this
a
one
question
was a focus.
that's relevant. Was this, and this is just to the group, do you guys think this could have been found before her, was in her before her death or after her death?
So when we were cracking open the skulls, did we notice any other incisions that had been made previously, or that would suggest that they were placed in the skull manually?
Not from the ones that you... Okay, well, actually, on the one that you had just taken from, the woman, you do find some signs of surgery on her skull as you were removing the piece.
Interesting. I will relay this to the group.
But not on any of the other ones.
Doesn't seem so.
How is that possible?
What if the gem is the main controller and then the crystal growths are just the underlings?
It is possible, but
Could it be
I don't think this gem could perform quite at this magnitude.
I think the only answer is to go deeper.
We should search for tracks.
I agree.
I am also
Okay.
still partial to the notion of burning the ones we don't need.
We could set aside a few people to do that. I'll volunteer myself. Anyone else want to help gather and burn the bodies?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll assist with that as well.
I'll assist.
Curious question for those that helped bury this poor one before. Did any of our more gaudy types, did anyone perform a consecration or prayer or anything for the deceased as part of the burial?
I did a quick little ceremony, doing the normal kind of doctor-esque.
I said a prayer for the light, but that was it.
Anyone have something perhaps a bit more involved?
Final rites.
Ceremony would take some time.
Are you saying ceremony, or are you saying just like a spell?
Yeah, there's a specific spell that I think one of the things is like last rites.
Okay.
I don't remember real quick.
And what does it do?
I'm looking for it right now.
Takes some time to perform a ceremony, but so does burning bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I point out.
Funeral rites. You touch one corpse, and for the next 7 days, the target can't become undead by any means short of a wish spell.
Interesting. Okay.
Casting time is 1 hour. And I also need 25 gold's worth of powdered silver, so...
And that's not a simple component right now.
Not a simple component.
Nope.
Can I check the corpse to see if there have been any animals gnawing at it or like digging it up?
There certainly appears to possibly have been some signs of possible animal mutilation, just because there's the bodies just appear like some of the bodies look like they could have very well been in combat, like either attacked by predators or victim of a battlefield, you know, limbs missing and things like that.
Should be able to burn here without causing undue harm to the forest.
Oh, yes, that's right. I did cast a spell last night. Let me see how much damage it caused. Ciro's gonna make his way to the area where...
It's actually still on fire right now.
Yeah.
Well, let's just assume that area is charred and not actively burning.
And confirming it doesn't, you know, burn down any of the nearby trees. I'll come back. No, it does not appear to have caused too much damage to the forest.
The forest is strong.
As you made your way over to where the fire spell was that you cast, you do find bodies strewn about the fire there as well. Some of them charred bones.
How many head crystals did we get?
Okay. So how far would you have gone before you were satisfied with your experiment about finding them? Would you have stopped when you found the pristine, like the actual carved crystal one?
I think I would have done maybe 1 or 2 more after that.
Okay.
And then once we started gathering the bodies, start doing that instead.
Okay. You find so you have the one polished gem, polished blue gem, and you also come up with 4 of these stalactite crystals. Basically, for the ones that you opened, you find a crystal like this. So I'll put you guys at 5 for right now.
Plus good. 1 whole head.
Which whole head was that? The woman's?
It would have been one of the other ones that had the crystal still in it.
Okay, so you take one grisly example and you put it in the bucket.
Who's gonna track?
I'm putting the crystals in mine.
Yep, so who has the crystals?
Dr. Akula.
And I have the bucket with the head.
And then
He
I guess
says with a smile.
Bargy has the gem.
Is that Hunter who has the head?
Gibbs?
No.
Sorry, some of you guys sound a little similar to me. Yeah, just say your character name, please. Instead of saying I have it. Make it less awkward for me and you. Alright, so Gibbs is the head. Bargy has the carved blue crystal. Anything else? I think that's it. Okay. So what now, guys?
I think after we burn the bodies, I think we should go up to the river.
And we gather some grapples as we go because we know they're in demand back in the Olympus.
Indeed, you do know that they are in demand. as a matter of fact, this reminds you, as you actually let's do you can either do knowledge nature or investigation if you'd like to look for a grapple.
I will.
Oh, I remember where the tree that I marked. If we can find it.
Yes, the tree is marked with the flag.
Should be east of here.
Together with your preparation, you managed to backtrack all the way to the grapple tree. And indeed, hanging like large bulbous champagne fronds of apple-sized grapes. They hang and look otherwise pristine. Kind of catching the light in an enticing way.
I'm gonna see if I can't pick up some more of those mushrooms as well.
Okay.
And if I may,
Yep.
I'd like to try and actually get a cutting of the grapple, one that could potentially be grown elsewhere.
Okay, we can just say that you cut one down, Bargy.
Is there any other fauna that looks interesting other than the fire willow and the grapple trees or the mushrooms?
Oh, there are certainly other things kind of all over the place, as a matter of fact. There's different mushrooms of different shapes. There's various wildflowers. You will be discovering them as you go, for sure. But in this particular area, the grapple frond and the spore shroom mushrooms and the fire willow do seem to be the most exotic, at least of the actual, like, plant life around here right now.
Okay. Yeah, as we find interesting stuff, I would like to take clippings.
Certainly. So, how many people harvest a grapple frond?
Me.
Bernard.
Alabaster.
Bernard.
Geldrick.
Is anybody not grabbing one? That's what I thought. All right. It's all under roll call. So all of you obtain one grapple frond each. And they're rather large. So, like, unlike, a lot of grapevines, which would have many, many, many of these grapes all over them, because of the sheer size of them, they don't quite have so many. So, you guys about strip this entire tree of half of its fruit.
How many are there on a frond, please?
For all intents and purposes, for roleplay purposes, there's many. Like, think of a champagne grape frond and apply that to this. So it probably sits in your arms like a corgi dog or something like that. Or an Alaskan-sized ear of corn. Something like that. So they're rather large, but for all intents and purposes, as a complete item, it is just one item. Like, if this is World of Warcraft and you were to get a grapple, it would be one of this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Alright, and tangent, I'm gonna, like I said, take a couple shrooms.
Okay.
I noticed there are more than one type of mushroom. Did we get both sorts last time?
You guys did not. So.
Also, one last thing. So that I can, since I'm reaching up here grabbing this stuff, can I also climb to the top again to see if we can find the direction of the river so we don't get turned around?
Yeah, roll athletics to climb. And then after that, we're going to have you roll knowledge nature.
Alright, that was for trying to get the other mushroom while I'm collecting the others.
Alright. The 3?
Is it too late to help him with the herbalism kit?
A little bit.
Okay, no worries.
Bargy, make a Constitution save.
What's happening to me?
Whoever picked up the mushroom.
That wasn't me.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, whoever was harvesting the mushroom. All right. Bernard, you reach down and grab the red mushroom, and as you're plucking it from the ground, the cap just pops off unexpectedly, and a cloud of spores just covers you. You're able to turn away and hold your breath, but a rather large volume of this dusty spore just, like, erupted from it.
So, seeing this happen, I'm gonna go over and offer to help with the herbalism kit. Just,
do you guys want a hand?
Can I use water to sort of wash him down?
Certainly.
I do so.
You help rinse the spores off of him. You don't notice really any adverse effects from the spores. They just seem to cling to you, kind of like an ashy dust. And when the water is poured on you, it clumps up on it, kind of almost like wet flour.
I with the help, I will gladly take another go, see if I can study this for later.
All right, roll with advantage this time.
+4, so.
Okay, so got yourself a 20. You manage to carefully pick one red mushroom. And this mushroom right here, as you hold it in your hands, it almost feels a little volatile. Like you can almost feel like it's... like you can almost feel the spores, the sheer volume of them, kind of like shifting inside of it, almost like sand. It's just very, very, very heavy feeling, almost.
Alright, and I just carefully stow it in one of my pouches.
Okay, you do so. Alright, guys, what are you doing?
I was climbing the tree.
Alright, what'd you roll?
A 13.
13. You reach up, the strapping young lad that you are, hand over hand, climbing the tree that you find with the, fabric tied to a tall branch. And you manage to climb it, and again, peek out over the forest. You see the portal off in the distance. It's closed, though. Like, you see the kind of, like, grayish, hazy version of the portal that was there. And the lingering smoke from the lightning lanes that still smolders over. As well as the giant, comically large tree off in the distance. Roll Knowledge Nature as you attempt to discern direction. Okay. You believe that the direction actually that you're facing in right now is the direction that you need to go in.
I point out and then look down, shouting down, "We need to go that way! That should be the direction of the river."
Alright, and
he calls out from his treetop.
Looking at a boom tonic on the treetop, I generally get the general sense of direction, so that when he climbs down, we have a general direction to aim towards.
I was going to suggest maybe he could stay up there and guide us for a ways.
Does he see what looks like a fire over to the left?
That is... That's supposed to be gone, but that was one of the fireball spells from earlier. That was cast when you guys were running off. So that area over there where the fire is, that area is the charred area where one of you guys threw the fire spell away from your camp to distract the undead.
Yep. Okay, thanks.
There's just no charred props. So that's what we have for a marker.
As as someone down there was pointing out, trying to, or mentioned that perhaps I could point them, I will shout back down. And how would you suggest I do that? I do not have a spell to communicate with you for very far.
Don't act like you're not loud enough.
But yeah, I get the general sense of direction he was pointing from down below, and then hold that as he climbs down so we have our general heading. Bernard.
All right. You all begin to navigate through the woods with your newfound sense of direction. The brush is really thick, and it battles you as you make your way through. You encounter enormous trees, large tangling roots. Roll perception. The whole party can right now. Alright. Master Ghost. You guys are all walking this way, and you look up, and you notice that these trees have very peculiar fern-like fronds and a red fruit with white spots all over it. It almost looks like a mushroom without the stalk.
Oh, now isn't this curious?
What's that?
Have a look at this tree. And the fruit that it bears.
They look like mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go ahead and harvest some.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe we can use this for something else as well.
Don't be so hasty. Check the tree first.
Alright, I just look up and down the tree, try to notice anything.
Roll perception.
Is that everyone or just the person?
That person who's particularly taking note of anything maybe dangerous.
Yep, that would be Bernard.
Okay, 1 second. I'm looking for a prop that I actually don't think exists, but I thought did. Alright, well, you happen to see what you think is an insect that might resemble a bee buzzing around. Other than that, you don't see anything else that might be a threat.
So then, hearing this, I'm gonna look around and see if I can see a hive of some sorts in this tree.
Roll perception. Or investigation, rather. You don't seem to find any.
Yep, seems safe. So after that, I'm just gonna go ahead, take my herbalism kit, and try to harvest one of the fruits and maybe a little frond.
What I'm gonna do is try and take the branch that the fruit's on.
Okay.
Like the small piece of it that the fruit's sitting on.
So, let's have you do knowledge nature. Alright, you guys find that it's actually pretty difficult to extract one of these branches with what you've got. They're pretty high up, they're pretty thick, but you do manage to snap off this end piece here. And cradled within this almost nest-like bed of fronds is this giant lychee berry kind of fruit.
I assume you'll do experiments once we're back home.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, just stow it away for now and move on. That way we don't waste much time.
All right. Who has the... Who harvested that?
Bernard.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take a couple leaves as well. That should be much easier to get.
Say that again?
I'd like to clip off a couple of the leaves. Not necessarily the fruit itself, but just a couple of the leaves lying around.
Okay. And who is this?
Dr. Akula.
Okay. You managed to harvest a few leaves.
Okay.
All right. What do you guys do now?
Continue down to the river.
All right. As you guys make it your way over to the edge of the board over here, you do begin to hear the sound of gurgling water. One moment. This one. 1 second. I have a lot of boards here, and I'm just making sure I got the right one.
What a peaceful sound. Running brook.
More peaceful than the horde of undead, that's for sure.
Hopefully we don't find any drowned corpses.
Or bloated ones, for that matter.
Sorry, guys. It changed the order. When I saved it, I'm like sifting through and trying to find the correct one here. Because I'm looking at one that's kind of like a previous build, so this might take me a minute or two just to kind of like sort my situation here. So sorry about that. Just give me a second. But you guys can carry on with your conversations as well while I'm prepping this.
Strange. Has anyone noticed any other birds around here? We saw the one when we came in the first time, but I do not see any more.
So far, the only life I've seen has been that bee.
I remember that last bird stared at us for a while. I wonder if it has anything to do with the undead.
Like a familiar of sorts.
I wonder if it's still lurking around.
Could be a lookout for a creature or for a mage or something.
Our wizard friend would be a good person to ask about that. But
All right.
I think he's busy studying.
Not that one.
Just curious, but these crystals, could it be a form of regeneration, maybe? Because the one that we had was surgery implanted.
It's possible. My thoughts are it's a controller with some sort of receptors.
Okay. Let me see. So, we're going to do a quick roll call again in a moment here. For people who need their miniatures. So I'm going to put them on the ones just like everyone that I see here. Just Dr. Akula, We've got Bernard. We've got
Eldrick.
Bargy. Alabaster. Eldrick. John Blackfrost. Wreck. Dovis. Who am I missing?
Zero.
Gibbs.
Karun.
Karum. That's the one. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. You guys all arrive at a forest clearing, more or less, as you come to the stony outcrop that overlooks a gurgling river.
Ah, the sound of the river. So peaceful.
They actually don't have a river sound. God dang it, Tailspire. Here, you guys get this. That's what we got.
I'm looking around for any wildlife, maybe in the river, or seeing what I can spot.
There we go. Okay. So you approach the river, and what are you looking for?
Any wildlife or, anything of note.
Roll,
Oh, God. Perception.
Let me see. All right. You notice that high up in one of the trees, there's an owl roosting. A rather large-looking, white-faced, dark-winged owl. And it seems to be watching you guys from up in this tree.
That's very interesting. Birds watching us, but more than one type. Do we know anyone who employs birds as lookouts?
It could just be a bird. I mean, we are in its territory.
It does not look as strange as the other bird.
Indeed, this one seems to have a bit more of a mundane appearance. The last bird that you encountered had a rather exotic body to it.
I would like to try to tame the owl, or animal handling.
I can help with that.
Now, I will say this, as a dungeon master, unless it works differently in 5.0, handle animal is not like mind control animal, is it?
No, sir. Just like basically a interaction with the animal.
Okay. So I specifically said I want to tame it with this roll. So, but you may try to use a handle animal check. And describe what you do.
I attempt to pull out my right arm and whistle.
Okay. Like to mimic it, or to just get its attention?
To give its attention as its roost.
Okay. Roll. Oh, wait a minute. Did you already make your handle animal check?
Yes.
9.
Yes.
You whistle, and it flies away. It rustles off and flies off.
Well, sorry guys. Scared him off.
Back to the task at hand.
I think we should look around to see if we can't notice any trails of undead or anything like that. Maybe it might be a good idea.
And also maybe look for a crossing.
What direction is the water flowing?
It is flowing upstream from where you guys are right here. Or I guess, well, it is flowing away from you guys, like the deeper into the board.
Ah, okay. Well, if we follow the river, perhaps we shall come to a coastline of some type.
Gibbs feeling down and let out. He'll just sit and meditate and bring his fishing pole out.
Okay, you have a fishing rod?
Yes.
Okay. What do you do?
I just sit off the rock, cast my fishing pole.
Do you have any bait or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay. Roll survival. Alright. So, Lavin, you cast your rod, and the satisfying plop of the hook hitting the water. Did you say you had bait? I'm sorry, I didn't remember if you just said that or not.
Yes.
Okay. The river begins to drag the line a bit upstream, and you begin to fly fish it, weaving the rod back, dragging the bait in a mimicking way. Roll performance as you attempt to mimic the flow of a guppy fish, of a minnow. Alright. Let me see now. Alright. Gibbs. Is this Gibbs who has the...
Yes.
Okay. Gibbs, you suddenly feel a tug on your line.
Oh, I got one, boys.
Hopefully it isn't a boot.
You begin to reel in, yanking delicately on the line.
Oh, don't break. Don't break.
You feel the strain. You know that you could not afford the most expensive fishing rod, and you know that this one's being stretched to its limits.
Oh, it's about to snap. It's about to snap, boys.
Make a reflex save. Or a dex check. Are they called? They're not called reflex saves anymore, right?
No, it's just dexterity.
Make a dex check. Alright. You feel the rod about to snap. You loosen the line just in time and weave to the side, letting the line out a bit. And then you're back on, hooking. Lifting the line back up. You maintain.
Come on, fish.
Make a strength check. You feel the fish on the line or whatever it is pull you nearly over to the edge, but you put a foot into a crevice of a rock and brace yourself and pull with all your might at just the right moment. Make one more strength check. All right. You, with one final effort... Oop, 1 second. Hoist a large fish up onto... Let me see. Up onto your line. It wriggles and gleams with a well, the color of this particular fish doesn't really quite best represent it, but it shimmers with an almost silver appearance. The scales really catch the light and reflect. It's long. It's like a giant salmon, almost like, except it's got two tails that branch out from its waist. Its fish waist.
No wonder that fish was so strong. Had two tails.
Indeed.
What an excellent guess. Just like back at the sea.
Like I said, Dr. Akula, I was dreamed to be a fisherman.
And now here you are, New World's doing the same.
All right. So, what do you guys do? You have this fish.
Anyone want to roll nature on it?
I can inspect it.
We probably want to make sure it's not poisonous as well.
If it is, I have brought a spell just for that.
It is a beautiful specimen of a fish, though. It would certainly classify as a sport fish in terms of its size.
13 on the nature.
And what are you trying to figure out on it? If it's poisonous?
Whether it's poisonous or anything like that, yeah.
You don't... Well, it's a fish you've never seen before, so it's kind of hard to say. But you don't seem to find any venomous glands or saliva or anything like that.
Well, it is peculiar. I've never seen one with two tails, but I cannot tell if it is poisonous. Worst case scenario, I have a spell that can purify it of any toxins.
For now, we can give it to our chef and see what they can do with it. And then if we find it good, maybe we can sell it back to the Merchants Guild.
Okay.
I'll pick the fish and plop him in my bag. My backpack.
And this is Gibbs, right?
Yes.
All right. You do.
Do we have any way of preserving it? Because it may go off.
It might spoil. Good interest.
How big are the leaves of the nearby trees? Are they like big old fronds or?
Big fronds, leafy canopies. Lots of ferns growing in the shade.
I want to take some of the leaves and kind of try to wrap the fish up to try and preserve it a little bit.
Okay. You managed to cut down some sizable fronds and wrap the fish up nicely.
There you go. This way it won't leave a nice fishy smell in your bags.
Thank you, Dr. Kuba.
I think we're just going to follow the river up.
All right.
Let's see.
You guys all begin to make your way up the rivers, and you find the song of birds is pretty prevalent here. The water appears to be a little bit low, but it is flowing freely. Signs of erosion along the riverbanks, carved out of stone. Up ahead, you guys spot a bridge.
As we're walking by the river, do we see any large animals swimming by or anything around?
Roll perception. Boom. You notice blending in very well. Very well. And eyeing Madrek quite enticingly from its watery base. You see a large alligator-like creature.
Razarak, be careful. There is a creature eyeing you from the water. Point him out.
It opens its maw and hisses at you. It looks basically like an alligator from your world, except for the fact that it has porcupine-like spines running down its neck, all the way to its tail, like a bristled mohawk.
Does it seem aggressive?
It seems quite aggressive. I mean, it's hissing. It's also got several fish impaled to its own spikes.
I'm gonna try and cast Animal Friendship on it.
Okay. Roll a... What level spell is this? And how does it operate?
This is a level 2, and it says this spell lets you convince a beast that you mean it no harm. Choose a beast that you see within range. It must see and hear you. If the beast intelligence is 4 or higher, it automatically fails the spell. Otherwise, it has to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
If not, it's charmed to me for first. I cannot hurt it, or my teammates cannot hurt it.
Okay.
If it does, the spell ends.
Alright. Roll 2 d20s for me. Okay. As you begin to cast your spell, you make eye contact with the creature. You begin to cast your spell, and you feel like a violent surge of something. Like, you feel as if... You know, let's say magic is pouring a glass of juice. And in this particular case, you're so used to being able to... You know, you could fill a tablespoon with ease if you needed to. But you just almost dumped... You feel like you almost dropped the carton of juice. This carton of orange juice, D-Mystic, since you're asking for specifics. But you managed to hold on. You almost lost your grip on something with your magic. But your spell does go off. It's a wisdom save, you said?
Yep.
DC?
DC 11.
It stops hissing.
Madrak, I need to learn those skills. My taming words needs updated.
Well, you scared away my owl, so I had to look for something else.
Alright. So, it stops hissing at you, and it kind of just bobs on the surface of the water. What do you guys do?
Can you bring it over to us so we can maybe inspect it a little?
Are you allowed to... Do you command it, or is it just favoring you?
No, I command it for 24 hours.
Really?
Or wow. Or if somebody hits it, then it, goes away.
Oh, so if you send it into combat, its first hit, it takes damage and snaps it out of it?
No, as long as, if I do something to hit it or, hurt it, or if people in my party hit it, it ends, right there.
Okay.
But it doesn't say anything about, if it goes into combat.
Okay. It meanders its way over, swishing its prickly tail until it's over to the edge.
I give it a morsel of food from my pocket.
Okay. What do you toss it?
Just a small piece of meat.
Alright, so you take some salted pork from a ration and toss it down to it. It leaps up and snaps its jaws hungrily, devouring the morsel.
pretty agile for something that big.
So just to be sure, like you command this creature at as a level 2 spell.
According to the thing, it says charmed, which means...
Doesn't that just mean it favors you?
It just
Yeah.
favors you. It's just friendly towards
Okay. So we'll say that it does meander over, but you are going to need to handle animal checks and things like that. Basically, you're like Tiger King. It could go wrong, maybe.
You could grab the fish from its back, I say jokingly.
Are they the same fish, or are there a few different ones?
There's 2 fish. One of them is... Actually, you know what? If I had known this prop was here, I probably would have used this one instead. Let me see. There's one of these impaled on its back spine.
So, getting a closer look at it, am I able to ascertain if it just sits around and catches stuff on its back and then eats it later, or?
Just by looking at it, it is certainly a functional piece of defense. You notice that as it made its way over to you, it made its way through debris and twigs that were sticking out of the river. The spines themselves flattening down along its back to allow it to kind of smoothly navigate forward. And then before bristling out again. It certainly could be a defensive measure. It could be an offensive hunting thing. But it does seem to either not be aware of the fish that's currently on it, or just hasn't chosen to eat it yet.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing?
Well, if it's leaving us alone, we should head and check out this bridge over here. Perhaps it leads to civilization?
Yeah, I'm wondering what bridge, is out in the middle of jungle.
It watches you all
And
as you turn to leave. Blinking with its gator eyes.
As we head to the bridge, are there tracks from the undead?
Roll survival. You don't find any tracks. Or any presence of the undead that you can tell.
Containers.
Yes, I wonder what's in these.
As you approach the bridge, you notice that it seems to have fallen into a state of disrepair. Constant exposure to water, as well as perhaps not knowing how old it is, it seems to be falling apart. It appears also that the crates that are nearby are equally as old. You open up the first crate. And inside you find a set of 10 bottles. 10 glass bottles filled with an amber-colored liquid.
Is there any, like, markings on the bottles or the crates?
Okay. You investigate it, and you find an image. Actually, give me 1 second. 1 second. I did have something for this, but I'm... Give me 1 second, guys. This is a very old thing, and I'm trying to find... Like, I didn't have it on hand, but I realize I actually do have something. I'm seeing if I can find that real quick. So just give me a moment. Alright, unfortunately I don't have it on hand right now, but I'll have it for next time. now that I remember that we actually do have this. You find, on one side of the crate, there appears to be a almost burned looking etching. It appears to be a flower. The image of some sort of flower. A rose, perhaps.
Does anyone know of a flower that looks like this? And I'll sort of make a showing up the side of the crate.
Perhaps someone has some charcoal and paper.
Have some ink and parchment.
What?
I do a rough sketch of the flower design with my parchment and ink.
Okay.
Well,
Actually, oh, go ahead.
while he does that, I'm gonna reach into the crate and pull out one of the 10 bottles.
You pull out one of the bottles, and you hold it up to the light, and it is a very, very, very dark amber. The bottle itself is oddly decorative, yet at the same time plain. Like no mass-produced wine from any vineyard that you've ever seen with a label or anything like that. Like, this is... Like, there's etchings on the glass. And as a matter of fact, there appears to be this image of what appears to be a sun and a moon with a traveled path underneath it, etched almost not quite like frosting, but like it was actually somehow like carved into the glass.
Look at this.
That's the same.
Sun and the moon. Yes, it is the same that we found on the pendant.
It is indeed.
We'll have to ask with Drayden what this symbol means.
Well, let's gather them up and continue on.
Alright, so the easiest way to transport them would be to carry the crate, if you want to take all of them.
Yeah, I will take the bottle that I have and just put it on my belt, and then I will leave the rest in the crate and pick it up.
And which character is this again, please?
Ciro.
Might I see one of those flasks before we pack them all up?
Sure.
In my
Crate
research,
back up.
in my research, of the gods, Apollo is the sun god and Artemis is the moon goddess.
Mm-hmm.
Could this have something to do with them?
You ask yourself, wondering.
Like while they're packing it up, but I imagine getting everything like packed safely and securely might take around 10 minutes, give or take, all this exchange. I'd like to try and focus on the flask I was given and cast Identify ritually in that time.
Okay.
Hopefully.
And I'm assuming you guys are opening the other crates.
Dr. Akula has wandered off a little bit to go check out these flowers down here.
Alright. Aha, indeed. A very keen eye. You come across these flowers. They are indeed a strange, almost crystalline-like appearance. Not like the crystals you found in the skulls of the undead. They appear to be like white water lilies, except they're almost a little bit translucent, in such a way that when dew is on them, it refracts light and casts rainbows along the rock right behind it.
Oh, these are quite interesting.
I'm gonna start writing some notes on them, and then just kind of taking a look, and then after a couple minutes, try to harvest one or two in whole with the roots.
Okay. And this is Dr. Acula?
Correct.
All right. Okay. All right. You roll. Actually, I guess if you're just picking up the flower itself, you don't need to roll for that, since you're not doing a delicate extraction of some sort.
Oh, I was trying to get it like roots and all, like try to transplant it.
Oh, okay. So in that case, then let's do a knowledge nature check.
Okay. I'm going to use my inspiration on this one.
Okay.
Not that it mattered much.
All right. Well, you do manage to pull it out of the ground. Not quite as delicately as you would like, but you believe you got most of the roots intact.
All right, I'm going to pack it carefully into one of my herbalism pouches.
Okay. What's the rest of the party doing right now?
I'm in the process of casting Identify.
On what?
Over this.
Opening those crates.
What are you casting Identify on?
On one of the flasks from the first crate that we were opening that had those 10 flasks of the amber.
Okay. You get a dulled magical aura from this object. The glass itself is mundane. The liquid inside, also reasonably mundane. You kind of get the impression that in this whole area where everything appears to be glowing with some magical aura, that this thing may have been made with magical ingredients, but they are fading. Like whether rotting or decomposing or being detached from the ether for too long. Whatever it is, you get a magical presence from this, but not like a, you know, like an enchanted item type of aura.
Right, like not a deliberate
Correct.
enchantment or something of that nature.
It could be a byproduct of magic. It is not made to be magic.
Slide it back in and share the findings with the group, just so they know.
All right. Do you share with the party that you believe the liquid to be some sort of magical byproduct, perhaps?
I might be made from some magic grain or who knows what, but it's kind of disinterested the moment he realizes it's not deliberate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You guys were opening the other crates too?
Yeah.
All right. The crate on the right, you open up that one, and inside you find what appears to be a larger bottle. This bottle is white in color. It appears to have either been blown from a murky, altered colored glass. And the areas of the glass where you can see through looks like snow falling on a mosaic scene. It is a snowy looking bottle.
Now, what is this you found?
Are there any markings on the bottle?
You look over it, and you find in this one the words Batch 1, Barrel 1, and 2009 on the bottle.
I'm sure that was a good year.
With that amber flask that I have, could I open it real quick and just take a sniff? Does it smell alcoholic?
You pop the cork on that one and raise it to your nose. Your nostrils are immediately filled with a sensation of potent blackberries. And indeed, a deep, deep brandy odor.
Someone was in the brewing business here, it looks like.
It means that we have found at least some form of civilization that used to exist here.
The bottles themselves do appear to be aged a bit dusty. The crates that they're in, some of them looking a little dry, some of them looking waterlogged. They could have been here for some time, exposed to the elements.
I noticed, I walked away from the group towards the stones, mountain cliff, I guess you would call it. Looking at this flower that I see in the distance, or whatever it may be.
Let's see. Bartholomew, you step through the woods, and you notice several brilliantly, almost glowing, purple flowers off in the distance, surrounded by emerald green fronds. What do you do?
I'm gonna walk up and inspect them, and then see if I might take one or so.
Okay.
I'll follow him so he doesn't wander off alone.
You follow the druid through the woods. He seems particularly enamored by a particular flower that he has drawn you over towards. Again, it's not glowing, but it's so vibrant, it stands out compared to everything else that's here. What do you do?
I'm gonna see if I can't collect it to research more of it later.
Make a knowledge nature check. You reach down for it, and your druid senses swear that this plant just moved, and not because of the wind. You reach down for it, and you begin to notice that there are little prickly hairs beginning to sprout out of the flowers. What do you do?
Prickly hairs. I actually see if I can't take a leaf off of a nearby tree.
Okay.
And use that to wrap the hairs, and I try to cautiously take it out.
Okay. Make a dex check.
While he does this, I see a cave in front of us.
Oh, do you?
Can I just peer in and make sure something's not staring at us?
One moment. Let me just resolve this thing over here with Bartholomew. All right. So you take the leaf wrapping, and you reach out to carefully wrap it around the plant to make an extraction. And it's then that you notice it just in time. You let go of the frond, but large, all talon-like barbs just lance up through the the frond that you had just wrapped around. These needle-like protrusion, almost like large cactus thorns.
Oof.
You check over your hands and you know that you did not get scraped by them.
Maybe I shouldn't mess with this.
Nice save.
So I just jot down some notes from the interaction for later use.
Best warn the others not to approach that plant.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
At least right now, it does seem that it is a rather aggressive plant of some sort. All right. But yes, indeed, right next to here, you notice the cave, correct?
Yes.
You may investigate it if you like.
Just peering in from where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Any signs of wildlife or any disturbances to the land around it?
1 second. It's gonna be a little tricky, I think, to do what I want here, but let me try. There we go. You peer into the cave, and you find it to be littered with bones. Of various kinds. Most of them completely lacking any meat on them.
Some wild animal or something may be in there, or have been staying in there.
And these are dismembered. They're not bodies, correct?
They're not full bodies. It's like a bone pile, basically.
Well, perhaps we should check this out another time. Unless you feel like you're up for a fight.
I'm always intrigued and willing to get into a fight for knowledge.
Before we get into that, anybody else who's around the campsite have a particular action that you guys want to do?
Yes.
What?
Gibbs here found it on rocks. He'll pick up a couple.
These rocks over here?
Yes.
Okay.
And he noticed a backpack.
Indeed.
Sitting in the corner.
Indeed. This also campsite's supposed to not be illuminated, but it's the prop. Actually, is there a non-lit prop? 1 second. Let me find it. We don't have a non-lit version of that, unfortunately. So this is not actually lit. There does appear to be a campsite here, though. And there is a backpack. It's rather decrepit looking, a little decayed, a little waterlogged. You can tell that it's been exposed to the elements for quite some time. And you do see one bedroll with a animal pelt for a blanket rolled out. The backpack itself does have 2 bedrolls that are hooked onto it. And it does seem to be filled with something.
Does the water damage look like it's salt water or fresh water?
Fresh water.
I also noticed there's a bird watching us above.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go tell Madrek because he's the one with the skills. See if we can call him down.
There is a black raven propped up on the rock, regarding you all down on your campsite. Or on the campsite that you came across, rather.
Over here, Madrek. We have a crow for you.
Oh, snaps.
It regards you with keen interest, tilting its head to the side as if listening. All right, you make your way over. What are you guys over here by the crates doing, by the way?
I had kind of wandered off, just sort of exploring / following after the others, seeing if there's any other interesting lore.
Those of you guys who are over here by the crate, you may make a perception check. Okay. If you rolled a 10, you notice that the alligator friend has drifted downstream and is now around where the bridge is. Alright, back over at the bird. What do you guys do? You come across this camp. You find the waterlogged kind of decaying backpack. And the bird is sitting on the rock above.
I would try, Rek, but last time I did, the bird flew off. I'll let you have at it.
So what do you guys do?
One of us should check the backpack.
All right. You walk over to the backpack and find that, indeed, it is quite soaked through. It pulls out of the mud with a sloshing sound, and it's got bits of the roots tangled around it. One of the buckles, the leather buckles on it has been torn. There are several tears in the backpack. Opening it up inside, you find a number of ruined books and journals. They appear to have been soaked through, the ink bleeding through, rendering a lot of the paper to be either completely saturated black or washed out. Difficult to glean any information at all from them. But you may roll investigation.
That's a 6.
A 6?
Yep.
Alright. You're sifting through the bag, and you think you might have found everything in here. It's kind of hard to tell. Everything's kind of soupy. You can tell it's a lot of parchment paper that, unfortunately, has been ruined by moisture.
I'd like to take a look at this trap when we get the chance.
Okay.
So it's the Dr. Akula over near the cave, the trap near the cave.
Indeed. All right. You find a trap out in the open. It's rusty. It's very rusty. And there doesn't appear to be any bait. It doesn't appear to even be really all that well hidden. It looks like it could have been hastily put down and forgotten. It's rather strange, but it looks like it may have been here for a very long time. Pieces of the teeth are chipping off, and it's almost even seemingly crumbling away before your very eyes. It's so in disrepair.
Am I able to grab a fallen tree branch nearby and try to activate it?
You manage to grab a tree branch. You snap it off and walk over to the trap. You thrust it into the middle of it, hitting the pressure plate. And the pressure plate just kind of snaps off from the rust disconnecting it. The trap doesn't even spring. It just kind of clicks off to the side. It just sits there uselessly.
Okay.
And one of the teeth of the mechanism snaps off. Just like, as if it just crumbled right then and there.
I'm gonna just use the branch and kind of flip it over so that way nobody accidentally gets tetanus.
Okay. You flip it over and it looks like the places where the... So, roll perception. The craftsmanship on this trap is rather remarkable. Despite its age looks impossibly old. This looks like this could have been machined together by a fabled artisan or someone capable of Spellforge. It looks like a piece of technology that may have even been machined, if this is a topic that your character is familiar with. But with that said, you would think the craftsmanship of that would be far newer, whereas this thing has clearly been aging here for many, many, many years, to the point where it rather cheaply has crumbled against the elements.
How big is this? About a bear trap size, or?
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller than the actual thing.
Okay, I'm gonna, in that case, after noticing the craftsmanship, I'll go ahead and pick it up carefully, and then kind of bring it back to the folks with the crates.
This is a heavy object. This thing weighs about 25 pounds.
Okay, should be able to pick it up. I'll take appropriate breaks as needed.
Okay. All right. Who else wants to perform an action or check something on the map here? Also, also pointing out to you guys, we've got about a 30-minute warning before we will be wrapping up. You feel the silver lightning bolt beginning to thrum with power.
Rick, would you like to take a shot of the Raven?
I can't already use my animal handling for the day.
Oh, I got you.
Or my animal friendship for the day.
Well,
The spined gator continues to drift under the bridge around where most of the party is congregated.
I'll try again. I'll try to use my animal handling skills.
Okay.
I'll use my grand apple for an advantage.
Okay.
I'll crack my grand apple open. I'll patch it in half. Offer the crow. And I will caw caw.
Okay. Roll handle animal. Okay. Let me see. The bird flies down to the tip of the cook pot device here, where the spit and chain and the fire pit is, and it tilts its head and blinks its red eyes a few times before looking to the piece that you had cut in half.
I will offer
Roll
to the crow.
Roll handle animal one more time. The bird looks like it's going to take a bite from the grapple, and then it turns and looks at the other two that are with you, then back to you.
Oh boy. I don't know if I can do this, guys. I'll try again.
Actually, wait, sorry. It attempts to snag one half of the apple from you. Not to take a bite, it tries to bite the whole thing away. Do you resist it, or do you let it take it?
I'll try to resist it.
Make a dex check. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so it manages to get a sharp bite on the grapple, sending juice flying, and it tries to tear it away. But you hold your grip and anticipate it, and it does seem to startle the bird. It does fly off.
Oh, so close, guys. Sorry.
Leaving you with your half of the grapple.
I'll eat the other half.
Alright, you do.
In sadness.
It's delicious. It's deliciously sad. Okay. You just as a reminder, guys, we're starting to wind back, so start to plan our exit strategies for our west marches, not to break the fourth wall or anything. Just keep in mind of the time.
I will shout out toward the north. We should hurry. The thunderbolt is thrumming. We need to be ready to leave.
Alright, one moment. Is it possible to check out this clearing over here by Bartholomew? Noticed possible signs of civilization over here.
Okay. So you guys gather back over here. Dr. Acula still looking at mushrooms, and let's go over to the cave for a moment. What are you guys doing? You guys have spotted, but you guys have not relayed the information about this find yet, have you?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. What are you guys doing?
Well, do you want to go in and take a peek?
I wouldn't mind it, but if we're low on time, and I wouldn't want to be left behind. We can always come back another day.
That is true.
Let's play it safe. We came here for a mission. Let's complete it.
Alright, sounds good. Like you said, we can always come back.
Okay.
Take note of this cave. Jot down something just so if we come back, we can check it out again.
Okay. And Dr. Acula, you are investigating the mushrooms over here that you seem to have found.
Yes, I would like to kind of jot some notes about them and then also try to extract a couple samples if possible.
You know what they smell like? They smell like meat.
Interesting.
You pull one out of the ground and it feels like a hockey puck with like a almost like a beefy texture.
Is it like a hamburger?
Not exactly. Like it's not really like a hamburger brick here, but it is a fibrous plant that feels like it's got almost like a meat-like texture to it. It's rubbery. It looks a little juicy. At the same time, maybe a little dry and sinewy. Fibrous.
I'm gonna
Sinewy.
take 3.
Alright.
Maybe 4.
You take 3 of these strangely meat-smelling mushrooms.
Alright, then I'm gonna pack them away, and then hearing the signal to return, I'm gonna go ahead and head back to the crates.
Alright. So they begin to head back to the crates. Do you relay any information to the party as you grow near?
I'll tell them about the fancy bear trap I found, the crystal lilies, and the meat shrooms.
There's a cave to the north, littered with bones.
And I'll relay a campsite, a backpack near, and the raven.
And be careful of the purple or vibrant flowers. They will stab at you.
Did you take the backpack with you, or any information from the campsite?
Nah, all the books were wet. Couldn't read anything. So we left it there.
So there's no possible way back home we could actually try to dry these out and try to get some information from them.
The ink was really hard to read. I don't know if y'all are able to or not.
It might be worth taking the backpack anyway.
Yeah,
Just
I think we should head over to the camp really quick, pick up the pack, and then maybe be on our way from there.
Alright, follow me.
I will pick up the one crate. Does anyone else want to take the other?
I'll grab it. Dovis will grab a crate.
Okay.
I'm a bit overburdened with this fancy bear trap I found.
I will pick up the backpack at the campsite if anyone doesn't mind.
Is there still one other crate left, I'm assuming?
There is one more crate. This one's actually
Alright.
sealed.
I will pick that up as well.
Okay. There is something shifting around inside of it. Like you feel the weight shift as you pick it up.
Careful with that backpack. It is awful waterlogged.
Who picked up the sealed crate?
That'd be Bernard.
Gotcha.
Eldrick, being very careful to not let all the wet get all over him, picks up the waterlogged backpack.
All right. You pick up the waterlogged backpack, and you swear that the straps on it are just about to give way. You actually have to bundle it up and pick it up because it's falling apart. And you pull the muddy backpack back to the party.
Right. Next time we should cross this bridge and follow the river or any form of trail that we can find. And hopefully find something more than merely a bridge.
I don't know. This bridge looks pretty rough.
Yeah.
Why not?
Perhaps we could bring supplies to shore it up next time.
You stole the thoughts right out of my mind.
Or have Rex Alligator just use him as a trolley.
They might be a bit prickly for that.
Alright, Ciro will pull the lightning bolt and will plant it into the ground to open the portal back.
All right, so you're activating the portal?
Yes.
Okay. Is use magic device still a skill?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Roll a d20.
Oof.
All right.
Tree in the way.
You hold Zeus's lightning bolt aloft. What do you do with it?
I plant it into the ground.
All right. You take the silver thunderbolt and insert it into the grass. And instantaneously, it's struck by a real thunderbolt that lances between each and every one of you. It begins to strike in a circular pattern, outlining a rune of a design that you do not recognize. As the lightning lanes begin to open, you can feel the static charge beginning to draw upon the party, and gale force and hurricane winds begin to whip up. A breeze at first, but soon the winds are howling. The alligator in the water gives a snarl of disapproval and hides under the water as lightning begins to lance and arc around. Scorching this rune into the grass at your feet, the lightning lane opens like a portal of raking lightning bolts. It produces a spiderweb-like walkway, and the portal that you guys walked through reveals itself from before. So let me go real quick. Now, I know we're on a different board right now, but for all intents and purposes, summon you all to this board. And you may have to grab your miniatures from around the board, or maybe I have to actually redeploy them. But let me see. Cyril, Bargy, Alabaster, Eldrick, Dovis, Acula, Gibbs, Blackfrost, Kerum, Wreck, and I think that's everybody, right? Did I forget anybody?
Missing my character.
Mark Dollman. Sorry. Alright. So you guys emerge from the forest side of the portal. A clap of thunder as you guys are all ripped through reality, and again, you feel yourself disintegrate particle by particle, pixel by pixel, as you are sucked up into this siphon of lightning. And you ride the lightning lanes all the way back to Mount Olympus. You see time and space stretch before you, billions of stars, and perhaps even a glimpse of knowledge of the infinite universe, before you are jarred awake, thrown sprawling to the floor in front of the portal here, as you land on the opposite end of the lane, with all of your treasure and loot in tow. Okay, so, if you guys would like, we could pause here and pick up with reaction stuff later, or we can finish up this, kind of like get ourselves started for the next time. Do you guys have a moment?
Yeah, I got some time.
Okay.
A little bit. I'd like to get to bed soon, but fine.
Okay. So, how about this? What we'll do then is, when you guys get back, there are the Slith guards here. They send for the council, and we will do our research stuff and do assumed RP stuff for the next session, and I'll get you guys prompted for that. And we'll consider this session officially closed. For you guys this week, you guys will each receive your... Did I give you 20 or 30 gold last week? Be honest.
30.
30.
Okay, good. That's what I thought it was. You guys each receive your 30 gold adventure stipend. Each, not split. And you will be able to perform your research roles throughout the week. We'll have more information about that too. And pretty soon we'll have the uptime kind of like events for you guys and ways that you guys can kind of like play together and do whatever you guys would like. But this session is complete for this week. You guys did roll call in the Discord. If you didn't, make sure you guys do so. If you participated in this event. This was an official event, and so you guys all will earn 1 experience point, which, for those of you guys who are new to the table, which I don't think anybody is here, but I'll do this for reminding people in chat. Each adventure that you guys go on, that's an official one with me, the Dungeon Master, the Game Master. You earn an experience point. You need as many experience points as you have a level 2 level. So at level 1, your first level or your first adventure that you go on will be enough to get you to level 2. After you go on 2 events, after that you'll get to level 3, 3 events, level 4, 4 events, level 5, so on and so forth. So it's meant to get you guys kind of like into it and get some stuff pretty early, but have the grind be kind of slow burn as well.
So if we leveled up, do we want to just roll hit points now, or?
If you guys, who leveled up?
Dr. Akula?
Eldrick?
Yes.
Yeah, I think all the level 2s who were here from, because that would mean like we got 2 XP. So that would mean we would level to 3,
Okay.
right?
Yes. So here's what we're going to be doing for this too. How many of you guys also rolled a 1 on any of your hit points?
I did. That's Eldrick.
Okay. Eldrick, I have decided to become merciful, and I will be allowing people to re-roll 1s, basically. I will not allow that. So, like, if 2 will definitely be required, but I will be allowing people to re-roll those ones coming up, just in the... because it's important for what's coming up down the road. We don't need to do it right now, but just something to keep in mind for the future. But for people who do want to level up, you have the option of you may roll, and if you don't like your result, you may have me roll, but you must take the result that I roll, if you decide to do that. With that said, you guys are free to roll, but then also post in Discord on the level up what you rolled.
I think as a rogue, I'm a D8, aren't I?
I believe so.
I was so shocked to find out that there was no more D4s for hit die.
Yes!
I'm like, my goodness. Alright, let's see. Damn. Holy shit. Alright. Let's start with Jug of Juice. You rolled a 6.
I'm gonna go ahead and keep that one.
Alright, report that in the Discord, please. D-Mystic, you rolled a 6. Do you want to keep it? Or shall I re-roll it and you must take what I roll?
I'll keep it. I don't want to risk getting lower.
You didn't. The 6 isn't bad. I mean, it's not a 12, but like 6 is fine. Getting max hit die for that for like one of the other classes. All right, Bargy, you rolled a 4.
Do you want us to put the overall total or just what the dice roll that we got? Because it's die
it
plus
would be helpful to put what you rolled, add your con, and then say what your new adjusted max HP should be. Would be very helpful for us. Keep in mind, guys, we're working on getting a website and a database to keep track of all this stuff for us. It's just, you know, stuff costs money, and these are all working parts, and we're kind of under the gun trying to make it all work. But we'll have better ways of recording that. Bargy, do you want to re-roll your 4?
Nope, I would
4
like
out
to
of
keep
6. All right. Laughing, you rolled a 7.
Keep.
Boom, you rolled a 3.
I'm gonna risk it. Go ahead.
Risking it. Here we. Are you sure?
I am certain.
All right.
You rolled 1s last time.
Hey!
Let's go.
Boom! Got that magic touch. Didn't get to roll dice all day. That was supposed to be damage to you guys. All right. Let's see. Master Ghost, you rolled a 10 out of 10. Are you sure you want that giant heap of hit points to burden you?
I'm not that drunk, so yes, I'm gonna keep it.
Oh, okay, all right. JWT, you rolled a 3.
Can you roll me again, please?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. It'll be a 1. It'll be a 1, but so what?
All right. And it's an oh my god!
Let's go.
And the crowd goes wild.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The beef. See, this is much better than last time. Hunter, you rolled a 7 out of 8. Would you like to re-roll?
I am going to keep that.
I did just roll an 8.
I can live without 1 HP.
All right. Dr. Acula, you rolled a 4.
No, that was not Dr. Acula.
Oh, not a doctor's not Dr. Acula?
Unfortunately,
That
Dr. Juice
was
is Dr.
through.
Acula.
God damn it! I've got
changed my
Bartholomew,
name.
who's not Bargy the Bear. Now I've got not a doctor who's not the doctor. All right, not a doctor. You rolled a 4.
Yes, I would like you to reroll.
Are you certain?
Yes.
I mean, he is honest. He's not a doctor.
It's true. Hey, there we go. A little bit more on top of that. All right. You got yourself a 6. Basic Lone Wolf. You rolled a 6 out of 8. Do you keep?
I would definitely keep.
All right. And I believe that's everybody. Now, who rolled the 1 earlier? Who said they had a hit point die that was for 1?
That was me for the from 1 to 2.
You may roll another time, and we will adjust it for that level that it was. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You will have plus 2 HP added to your max HP because of that. All right. Well, guys, a bit of a quicker, a little bit milder, more exploratory session. Just real quick, what do you guys like? I know it's not a whole lot of time, but not everybody can do 8 to 10 hours of D&D. What are your guys' thoughts on these kind of like chunks of, 2 to 3 hours for a session like this? Does that work out? Is that not enough? Is it good? What do you guys think?
I think it's
good.
I think it's good. The one thing I am concerned about is because we're playing through the same portal and so forth, and we seem to be going further and further. If it reaches a point where we're like, we're struggling just to reach, something beyond the distance.
Now, the portal that you guys are going to go through next time is going to bring you to the bridge. You're not going to start in the forest.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I wondered whether or not the sort of weird sigils that were going on when we went back were going to translate the portal.
Yep. So trust me, I have your guys' fun and time in mind. So I am trying to get you to a point where we open the hub world, so to speak. Remember what they said, this is an expedition, right? And that means you're expected to what? Establish some sort of settlement of some sort. So part of you is looking for a place to be. And here's the things that you guys have found out so far. 1, temperature is actually pretty nice. 2, vegetation is pretty plentiful, including food. 3, there's fresh water and running water filled with game. So, like, you guys are slowly kind of, like, confirming all of the things for what it takes to kind of get the foothold here. And then it's a matter of picking that. So you guys are actually getting... The intention is, like, between 2 and 4 sessions to get you guys to what will be your home base. And then the prologue ends, so to speak. But with that said, guys, the session for this week is complete. Congratulations on those of you guys who leveled, and thank you for coming by. Your loot has been recorded, and I will be discussing stuff with Prestonio about what we're going to do with that. If you feel that you have looted something that you would like to research or do some investigation on, please feel free to do that in the research Discord. You may also pair any of your research with what you feel is a corresponding and appropriate skill check roll for doing that. So if you're trying to do alchemy, you may make an alchemy check. If you're trying to do a knowledge nature check, you can do that. And we will be applying those to the knowledges for the next session. All right?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, thank you for playing, my
Thank you very much.
my awesome players. We will see you guys next week. I'm going to now take some time to address the chat, because we had some people asking about Tailspire and what exactly it is that we're doing here. So again, hope you guys had fun. Thank you very much, and looking forward to next week.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very
GG's.
much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's
Thank
always
you,
a
guys.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great game.
All right, so to everybody who's here, welcome. I'm sorry for not being able to interact more with you guys when we are doing these events. They're very time consuming. They have a lot of people at the table. And as you guys are noticing, every single event... Forgot to put that down. So every single event that we've been doing, we've been having at least 10 players. And I feel like I could accommodate even more than that. So what we're doing here, this is a community D&D campaign using Tailspire. We're not sponsored by them yet or anything, but we're kind of got a close working relationship with Tailspire. It is required for you to be able to, you must own a copy of Tailspire to be a part of this. That is required. You do not need to be a sub. You must have 50,000 channel points to buy a character slot for it. Yes, that's a little bit steep, but it's not impossibly steep. It's for people that we know are regulars of our channel, and those are the people that I want to spend the time doing this for. So if you spend the time to get the channel points for them, you're more than welcome to join the game. There will be times when we do limited, smaller games where we can only have like 4 or 5 people at a time. We'll be breaking up the table, but we're doing these larger events. Now, I used to run a tabletop game that had hundreds of players back in the mid-2000s. It was a text-based RPG, and we're kind of bringing that back a little bit through here because we didn't have a visual component to keep that thing kind of like going. So my idea for this is a living world. The characters are going out through this plane of existence to establish a foothold and establish a settlement or a colony, at which point the game will transform into a 24-hour-a-day campaign where people can get together and roleplay and spar in the fighting pits and do activities and research and cook and fish and mine and craft and do whatever during the week and get rewarded for it and get experience points for it and alternative forms of advancement for their characters, alongside with having official Game Master run sanctioned events, such as the one that you saw here. We're also going to be having people from our community able to enroll as NPCs if they want to be more immersive rather than have a player character. And it's just a real passion project. Now, I saw a moment ago, and I'm sorry for not mentioning it before, but Laughing Nuck, if you're still here, there he is right there. Thank you, my dude. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. That is beyond generous of you, my friend. That is beyond generous. Thank you so much for participating in my game. Thank you for the gifted subs. I will absolutely be putting that into making this part of my content better, because this is costly. This is costly content in time and assets that we have coming up down the road. So I really do appreciate that. This is a labor of love, and thank you guys so much for supporting me, enabling me to do this. So welcome to Betforian, Dracarnis, the Foolish, Beether, Guardian of Tyria, Dragonborn, 16-bit Kaiju, Lithix, Sour Kaiju, and Grimlock. Thank you so much, Laughing Nuck, for that. You're very generous. Didn't have to do that, my friend. Oh, come on now. Come on. Jugajuice. Jugajuice, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Very, very, very generous of you guys. Welcome to Holy Creepshack, Zaldafak, Shylor, Krayokoko, Mintil Massacre, Azrael the Wanderer, Sorrow Tongue, Ram, Neff, Etni. My goodness. And Laughing Duck with 5 more gifted subs to Rough Rider, Goons, Critter, Yuri, and S-Frog. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. We've got a lot of cool art assets. We've got some really, really cool things coming up down the road. Thank you for believing in our content and wanting to take a part of it. I really appreciate it. Clive Rumswiller, thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you so much. Woo! Punk Buster! Punk Buster. What? Come on, guys. This is more subs than we got all day. Streaming in our regular time slot. What is going on? Punk, thank you so much. You guys are too generous. You guys are too generous. Thank you. Punk, thank you for gifting subs out to Micholio, Kakioku, Strike Dog, Ganja Wolf, and Dis First. And D-Mystic gifting a sub to Johnny CL. You guys are too kind. It's just shy of 5 a.m., so good night, everyone. Thanks for DMing. Broken Star Wars, thanks for staying up with us. We'll try and get some more accommodating times for you all. Strange Duck! Come. Strange Duck, we gotta get you in on this game at some point. Strange Duck, thank you for the 5 gifted subs to Rango Rodriguez, Mr. Huge Face Guy, Anxiety Ridden, Fuji Rayon, Deathless, can't stop smiling right now. Laughing Duck, give me up 10. Laughing Duck, you gotta stop. You're just getting gold at this point. You're just getting gold. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Laughing Duck, for the 10 gifted subs to Captain Jack Flash, Mr. Fanatical, Thilvin, Dorman, the Tyrannical Talk Box, Son of a Gunner, 6 Rip 9, Lemorak, Pyro Puppies, Monk of Socking. Thank you so much. And Ironhead with 5 gifted subs out to NG Jones, Reggae Dragons, Bemused Human, Grant Gar, and Will Slayer 57. Oh my god, thank you guys so much. So generous of you. So generous. Thank you for supporting my content, guys. I've been having so much fun doing this, and this has been a thrill. And there's gonna be more of it. There's gonna be so much more of it. Punk Buster. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on, man. Come on! Punk Buster with the 5,000 bits. Amazing content. Tangent, you are talented AF. I am so humbled by your kind words. Thank you for enjoying my content and feeling that way. Thank you for that. Wow. So for those of you guys who have gifted subs, make sure that we gotta come up with a better way of keeping track of this. For the stuff. Jugga Juice! Come on, man! Jugga Juice with 10 off the top rope to Gatos the Cat. Gatos the Cat. I love that name. I don't know why, but I love that name. Recon Cavalry. So far, so good. J. Todd Coleman. Soul Sid. Optimal Slash. Nino. NY Dog Tour. OG Diamond C, Mustard Tiger 89. Thank you guys so much for all the gifted subs. You guys are great. You guys are killing me. Like I'm here just trying to like kind of like bow out and just thank you guys for enjoying my content and not be a total shill. You guys are making it real hard. You guys are making it real hard. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you. And we're gonna have a lot of fun. We really are. So let me put this here. 1 second. Keep track of that in a moment. Mustard Tiger 89 is a great create a wrestler name. I know. I was just thinking that, like Tiger Driver, like Tiger Driver. Is that what that is? It's killing you, ain't it? I know. Oh man. Red Rebel, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. And welcome to Trinian, Champagne Shad, the Sports Guy, Jade Tiger Plays, and Jack O'Hara. Welcome, guys. Thank you, Red Rebel. And salutes to everybody who's been gifting subs and bits. Thank you guys so much. So to those of you guys who've been watching our D&D, like, I know that, like, production-wise, I'm not quite ready. I need pictures. I need assets. I got Tailspire, which is great. But I need some other stuff going on. But for those of you guys who are not actively playing, but are either thinking about playing or have just been watching or lurking. What do you guys think of this kind of setup that we have so far? Like, in terms of, like, do you enjoy seeing this kind of content? Because I always debate whether or not we should be streaming it or doing it private. So far, I've been really enjoying presenting it to you guys, but, you know, each game is a one-shot, right? It more or less, yes, Reefer Madness. It's a connected world with a West Marches style approach, meaning we do our best to get you guys back home and able to reset. I enjoy it because I don't have the imagination to always follow. Oh, that's a good way of putting it, Ironhead. Cool. I want to play with everyone. I love it. Great feedback, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I like this. I got in here late, but it's fun. It's a seat of your pants and great content. It's a lot of ad-libbing, too, and everyone does a great job of it. And a lot of you guys didn't know that I enjoy dungeon mastering, but hopefully as the weeks go on, you guys will continue to enjoy it. Okay. It's like a one-shot reset. I love the concept. Yeah, and the idea of it is supposed to, again, be like a living world. You know, like a private little... You know, they think of it like a Valheim server or a mini MMO. That's what I want out of this. But yes, again, the channel point investment is pretty steep for this. It you know, 50,000 is something that not everybody can just throw around. And there is intention behind it. But there's going to be other things too. Channel points are going to be used to influence other things. Like you guys may have noticed that the Goblin and Orc button is on there. That's to literally unlock playing as orcs and goblins in this game. You're restricted to a small pool of races that you can play, but other ones are coming out. So, for example, the Slith, you guys know in an upcoming patch, are going to be player characters as well. We call them the Slith. They have an actual name in D&D. We will be probably changing their stats. Clive Rumswiller, thank you for the 6 months. Thank you. Thank you. But the intention is that we definitely want as many people playing as are willing to get involved. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And thank you guys for being here with us. How on earth are you going to keep track of it? Of it all? I don't know. Big brain, I guess. Well, Strange Duck, like I said before, I ran a game for about 6 years. We had a database that was basically like Wowhead. But for this game that we ran, it had millions of entries. We had kind of a short staff for helping work on it too. We actually had a really, really impressive, robust, ahead of its time game that was actually going to be my main content on Twitch when I first started out, but I decided to go with games instead of D&D. Or DMing, because it was kind of... We didn't have a visual component for it at the time. But I'm used to running events with at least 34 to 36 people, and for like 8 to 10 hours at a time. So this has actually been kind of easy. But the problem is back then, I started really small. I started with like 7 players, and I built the world around that. Now we have a whole community that wants to play. And I have a lot of experience doing stuff like this. And a whole world. I have thousands of pages of lore for the world that you guys are embarking in. And I've been kind of like retconning it into this package that is for this play session and style. There's a lot of information that's there. It's difficult because I want to do so much. I'm limited because of time and work and things like that. But rather than building something small and growing out, I have something large that I'm trying to adapt to something that's small. And it's like I have to do a lot of work to kind of make this stuff work. But if all goes well, at the end of this road, much like before, we had hundreds of players that could play 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we had official events that people could stop in on too. I don't know if we'll ever get that large again, but for right now with our community, with our chill group that we have here, Yeah, this will be fine. This will be fine. We've already got logistics, and I got people like Prestonio helping me out too. But yeah, we will be looking for a website to get designed and paying for that too, and all sorts of other stuff. So thank you guys. Thank you for that 57 sub hype train at the end of the day. We will be putting that towards assets to improve the experience of our Dungeons and Dragons and roleplay modules for our player base. So thank you guys. Thank you. X29V, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that you guys have such kind words for my dungeon mastering style. I'm still very rusty. This is still only like my, second real session outside of like 3 or 4 little like PvP things we did since, I don't know, probably last time I dungeon mastered something serious like this before this group with you guys was 2012, 2011, something like that. So when I went back then, it was a 60 to 80 hour a week job, and I was not making content. There was no Twitch. I was not on YouTube. I was in my master's program. I was graduating from college, getting into my master's program, and graduating from my master's program, and becoming a therapist back when that was happening. So I wasn't paid to make content back then, but we did have like, we did have a supporting donation page. We basically had like the world's first literal battle pass, basically, and it helped support things. But like it was a 60 to 80 hour a week job, and I loved it, But I love Twitch more. But now I get to do both because of you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and thank you for supporting the content. Because like I said before, like this is not, at least not right now, not nearly our most viewed content, and it doesn't need to be because it's fun and it's communal driven, So basically, I am adapting a 6 or 7 year campaign to you guys and kind of like passing it off onto this new player base. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. I think that our world is really fun. I will tell you this, like, nothing's really new anymore. I designed this location in like 2007. And a lot of stuff has come out since then in the media. So I am apologetic if some of the themes that we are going to be exploring might at this point be overdone. Might at this point be like, hey, that sounds like I saw that in a movie or something. Like, this campaign of mine was created in 2007. So we've got like 14 years have passed. So some of the story might not be as good. It might seem a little bit more borrowed from other places in some places, but we'll see. My limited experience with playing D&D was fun. I look forward to potentially playing with all of you. Hey, and us to you too, Strange Duck. All right, guys. But with that said, I do have a little bit of bad/not bad news. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to take the day off because I have a meeting with our video game studio that Meow and I run with a friend of mine. We have a month. For a month, we have planned to have a meeting, and I want us to have a full day to work on the game that we're working on. It's a visual novel. But Monday, which is normally our day off, we will be streaming. We will be streaming on Monday. So Monday was normally our day off. We will be streaming. Tomorrow, instead, we are taking the day off, okay? 2007 was 14 years ago, right? I know. Also, one last sellout, shout-out moment. Just as a reminder, guys, we got our G Fuel code that's still active all weekend. 30% off of all G Fuel products. We are matching every use of our code with a $10 donation to local animal charities, up to 100% of our sponsorship that G Fuel gives us. So thank you to those of you guys who stock up. For those of you guys who do buy G Fuel stuff, using our code. There's a lot of codes you could be using, but using ours allows us to put some money to a good cause. And to date, we have donated over $2,500 towards local animal charities. So thank you guys very much for that. And again, thank you. We'll see you guys Monday. Have a good one. Thank you to our awesome cast. Thank you to our awesome mods. I've seen Moo's been with us the whole time, you animal. Thank you, Moo. And we'll see you guys on Monday, all right? Thank you very much. Take care of each other. And again, thank you for supporting my content. And we'll catch you next time at twitch.tv/tangent. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.